Yo, we back with another mock draft. This is my favorite pick, at least in a 10-man, even in a 12-man. Those would be my favorite. The fourth overall pick, by far my favorite. While the draft is loading, I could discuss it, but like this four group of players, and I know people are gonna try to slide JSN in here. I'll explain why I don't have JSN in this tier. You could certainly have McCaffrey in this tier. I just worry about injuries with him, man. But this tier of four, like I'm fine with any of them, right? I like them all. I think they're all 1A tier, like could be the first overall pick in fantasy football tier. So if I'm at four, I get one of them no matter what, and I come back around to this sooner. Jahmyr Gibbs, I don't really think I have to explain. I think he was RB1 last year. Same with Bijan. Puka Nacua averaged 23 points per game last year. If he stayed healthy, he would have been wide receiver one. Ja'Marr Chase, I mean, you guys know Ja'Marr Chase, arguably best receiver in the league. Healthy Joe Burrow, he could put up ridiculous numbers. JSN, I just think their offense might take a step down. They lost Clint Kubiak. They lost Kenneth Walker. I think they could just be a little less efficient. And he also has Sam Darnold, who's worse than Stafford, who's worse than Joe Burrow. I just think like he has a little bit more concerns than a Puka Nacua and Ja'Marr Chase. That's kind of my reasoning, right? Like Jason's not bad, but I personally would draft one of the four. If you aren't scared about injury, go ahead and take McCaffrey for sure. McCaffrey's a great option, but in this scenario where this happens, I would be taking Ja'Marr Chase as my wide receiver one, and I would be very ecstatic. Yo, let me make sure. You know what? It's cool. Hopefully this is just working. Hopefully my OBS is recording. But now where you're targeting somewhere in here, right? Obviously, I want a running back. A lot of good running back options. The only bad thing about taking Ja'Marr Chase is that Chase Brown is now pretty much off the board. And I really like Chase Brown, so that obviously sucks. But like a Genty, a Cook, a Hampton, a Barkley, a Henry, like these are all guys that I would 100% take. And I'm definitely targeting running back at pick number 17. We'll see who's available there, but I just want to talk through my thoughts. But this is why I love number 4, because this running back tier, like there's going to be someone, right? You would at least hope so. And to be able to get one of these guys at 17 when I just got a tier 1 player in Ja'Marr Chase, I mean, that's I think that's the absolute best start that you could get. And then pick 17, you're kind of coming back fairly soon. So then you can pair it up with a very, very, very good wide receiver, or you could go back-to-back running back if you wanted. I don't know. I think the receivers in that tier are probably better, but you could certainly, and then you could target a running back here. But we'll get there. We'll see what happens. I'm in 3 picks. Worst case scenario is if it goes A-Chain. Well, it just went Rice, but if it went A-Chain, Genty, Hampton or Henry, that's really hard for me. I mean, I want Genty. That's probably who I want. And he's here, and he's gonna be here for me. So I'm gonna start. So my last mock draft, where I had the 10th overall pick, I selected CeeDee Lamb and Ashton Genty. Here I have the 4th overall pick, and I get Ja'Marr Chase and Ashton Genty. So just better. Ashton Genty, Clint Kubiak's there, improved offensive line, improved weapons, improved QB play, I'd imagine. Like, I'm just so high on Ashton Genty. This is 2 videos in a row where I'm talking about him. But Ashton Genty, he's so good at Boise State. He's such a good runner. He was last in the league yards before contact because the O-line was so bad, but they spent a lot of money to improve that. Their defense should improve as well. But that's not, like, their defense improving could make it to where they're not always in we have to pass situations. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of my thing. And then Genty could get the ball more. They could hand him the ball more. Clint Kubiak's a very smart. Will get him the ball in some unique ways that will really help Genty, and I love Ashton Genty. So I even took him at pick 11 in my other mock. So I have him Genty ranked really high. To get him at 17 is just ridiculous. But even if Genty wasn't there, it's like Hampton was still there. You know what I'm saying? And I really like Henry's still there. So you're going to get someone. Ooh. A.J. Brown goes off the board. That's honestly who I was kind of eyeing. This sucks because if Chase Brown is there, I would really want Chase Brown. I can't take Brock Bowers because I just took Ashton Genty. Can't take Chase Brown because I took Jamar Chase. So this is a weird situation. This is certainly a weird situation for me. I'm not gonna sit here and hold you. Man, it's really hard to not go Chase Brown here because I just think he's the best player available, right? I'm not gonna do it. We are gonna go running back actually. I'm gonna go with Kenneth Walker. He obviously health could be a problem, but as long as he stays healthy, he's in a KC offense that is very well coached, is very smart, has Patrick Mahomes. They have wanted to run the ball a lot. Like obviously throughout the years the way they play, now they actually have an option. He was a Super Bowl MVP. He was outstanding in the playoffs. He doesn't really have another guy. What Isaiah Pacheco's his other guy. Like I'm not really worried about that whatsoever. He's really talented. Chase Brown is the better option. If like you have Puka Nacua instead of Jamar Chase, Chase Brown. I'm taking Chase Brown over Kenneth Walker, but I have Jamar Chase, so I'm not going to do it. But I'm still not mad about Kenneth Walker whatsoever. Now we do kind of have to wait a little bit now, so this is going to put us in a weird spot. But there's a couple wide receivers that I'm going to talk about here, assuming they're there, that I very much like. Ooh, Kyren Williams goes off the board, which is interesting. Kyren Williams, Javonte, I really like. Kyren, I'm a little bit worried about, just because Blake Corum's really good, but game script I think for the Rams will point towards Kyren being good because I think the Rams will probably be in a lot of games where they kind of blow out the other team and will lead to Kyren getting carries. So, and it's a really good offense. We'll probably score a lot of touchdowns still. So maybe I'm not really worried about Kyren. Kyren's like a safe play, I think. I do think I like Javonte a little bit more, though, because he just doesn't have a Blake Corum problem, and that offense is really good as well. So I think I like Javonte more than Kyren. Chase Brown I like Chase Brown way more, though. It kind of sucks I ended up with Jamar, because if I had Puka and I could have got Chase Brown, this team would just be ridiculous. We're actually about to be up, and these receiver options are very good. I'm just going to talk them through. Right now, I'm looking at Devontae Smith. He's my favorite in this range. No A.J. Brown. He's just going to eat. He's so talented. He won the high. Well, and then you just got to take him. But that's who I was looking at. George Pickens is obviously really cool. Emeka Egbuka I like. Mike Evans is gone. He had an injury problem the second half of the season. The first half of the season, he was so good. Like, I just really like him with Baker Mayfield. He's a really talented player. But do I like Emeka Egbuka more than I like Devontae Adams? I don't think so. I think I do like Devontae Adams more. The amount of touchdowns Devontae Adams scores, I think he could have more yards. They're in an elite offense. He has no reason to have not a fuck ton of touchdowns again. So it's like, I'm going to go with Devontae Adams. He's guaranteed 10-plus touchdowns. Like, it's just a guarantee. And imagine if he has a lot of yards. He's such a good player, too, on probably a top 3 offense in the NFL. It's like, how do I not get invested into a Devontae Adams? Like, I have a Ram and I have a Bengal as my wide receivers. That is very, 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 very appealing. And here's the thing. If I had Puka Nacua, I would have taken T. Higgins. I feel similarly about T. Higgins as I do Devontae Adams, right? I do. Or you could take Emeka Egbuka. I like that option too. But it's because it's like realistically, you're probably getting Puka or Chase at the 4, right? That's probably what's going to happen most of the time. And then you get to this pick, this area right here, you're probably, most likely, going to have T. Higgins available. Or if you have Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams available. If you have Puka Nacua, you pick T. Higgins. So then your receivers are always going to be T. Higgins, Puka Nacua, or Devontae Adams, Jamar Chase. And that's a crazy pairing. And then maybe you could even have another one. Like, well, if Smitty was there, I was going to take Smitty, but he got selected right before me. And then if you could pair up, obviously your second-round pick, like you really need to go running back. That's kind of the only thing with this strategy. Pick 4, unless Gibbs or Bijan fall to you, then you're kind of just do whatever. But assuming they don't, okay, I'm back up on the clock. So normally I would take T. Higgins here, but I have Jamar Chase, so that's not going to happen. I like Ladd. I think Justin Herbert's in for a big season. Their offensive line is very much improved. I think with Mike McDaniel, They're going to throw a lot of yards, but I really like Terry McLaurin with Jane Daniels as well. I think I just want to buy into this Chargers offense and buy into an offense that I think is going to be elite, and I'm going to go with Ladd McConkey here. I just, again, with Mike McDaniel, he's just a genius on offense. I think he's going to have Herbert throw for a ton of yards. Ladd McConkey is the wide receiver one in the offense. I think, again, is going to have a ton of yards thrown. Their offensive line's really good, it should be very much improved at least. So I really like Ladd McConkey, especially as a flex. It's like, I'll take that all day. I'll take Ladd McConkey as a flex all day. I would like him as a wide receiver too. T. Higgins fell really far in this. Very surprising that T. Higgins is falling this far. I feel like he would go sooner. Because I'm telling you right now, if I would have had Puka Nacua, I would have taken T. Higgins right here. But he fell a whole round later. So that's certainly interesting. Okay, now we're in a spot where I personally like picking for depth because I like QBs late. I like tight ends late. That's kind of what I'm looking for now. Jaden Daniels or Lamar Jackson, getting one of these two here, totally good. Totally good. I think these are very, very good options, very great options. And if you're in the strategy and you got to the 57 pick and a Daniels or Lamar was there, sure, I totally think it's feasible and reasonable to go ahead and select one of them. I wouldn't take May or Hurts. I just think they have a little bit more concerns than Daniels or Lamar. And Daniels and Lamar upside in fantasy is just insane because of their running ability. So I don't mind that. I might even do it in this if they're available. We'll see. Daniels just got selected, so they probably won't be available. I personally like going for depth plays at this spot, like a Marvin Harrison Jr., a Demo, because I really like Demo. I even like Tony Pollard. That's what I like doing because I'm just confident in QBs later. Like Justin Herbert, I could pair with Ladd McConkey. That's really who I'd be looking for. Or, well, I have Kenneth Walker, but I could look for Patrick Mahomes. I have no problem with getting Patrick Mahomes. And tight ends late, I definitely like. And so you could add like a Rome or Luther, J-Mo, or Dave Montgomery or Marv or Cortland Sutton, like instead of picking a QB. Now I'm not picking a QB because Lamar went. And it just like gives you more comfortability in your team and feeling like even if something goes wrong, you still have an opportunity to have a good fantasy football team because like Kenneth Walker get injured and I take Demo here, I could just slide Demo in because I like Demo. The Demo's who I'm targeting. Dave Montgomery, going to the Texans, their offensive line wasn't great. Their offense wasn't great, but Dave Montgomery's a really good running back, and I think he's just going to get fed the ball a lot. Like, he could get 15 carries a game. He's going to score a decent amount of touchdowns. Like, I just like David Montgomery as a player. And for him to be a backup, like, when I need him, like, that's totally an awesome option. I really like Marvin Harrison Jr. too, though, but because I have Ladd, Chase, and Adams, I think I would target running back here more. Now, if I had a third running back already, I'd probably go with Marvin Harrison Jr., or you could go with Rome or Luther if you believe in that. I don't like DJ Moore. I would certainly not go DJ Moore. What am I looking at now? I mean, I want Marvin Harrison Jr. That's who I really want. I would be very, very, very happy. Well, it's looking like it's going to happen. Yeah, it happened. So Marvin Harrison Jr., here's the thing. Here's like my argument for Marvin Harrison Jr. I got like 20 seconds, so I could keep going after, but I'm just going to pick him actually. Marv, sometimes it takes people a while to break out. I think I drafted Marv in the last video, so I mean, it makes sense. I'm drafting similar players because I like similar players, but Marv, he was the 4th overall pick. Sometimes it takes people time to break out, like a Drake London. Drake London was not amazing right away. Like, Drake London struggled at the beginning of his career, and then now he's almost superstar level wide receiver. Like, Marvin Harrison Jr. talent-wise, he was a generational type of receiver talent at Ohio State. He was so good. That's why he got drafted 4th overall. I'm not worried about Marv. I get it. Marv, he had struggles last year. He had drops last year. His routes don't always look the clean. He's not the fastest, but like Marv, I just believe in the talent. I believe in the player that Marvin Harrison Jr. is. And for me to get him on the bench, I don't even have to rely on him. At this price, it's totally worth it. There's no way you can convince me that Marv at this price is not worth the shot, at least. Because, again, I could easily see him explode on the scene this year. It's not like rookie receivers come in and they're always instantly amazing. Even in their second year, they're not always instantly amazing. We are back on the clock. Oh, man, I like some options here. So Cortland Sutton is definitely the best player. That's certainly who I'm going to pick. But I do want to talk about some guys. Parker Washington, I think, is a really safe option. He had a really good year last year. Don't know why that would necessarily change. Christian Watson, he's going to have a very much improved on role. He just got paid a lot of money. So Christian Watson could be really good. Jordan Love's a really good QB as well. So I like that. But Cortland Sutton, it's like he's just on a – with offensive line and offense that's fairly good. He's a very good wide receiver. I actually think Jalen Waddle will help him a little bit and not have so much attention on him. And Jalen Waddle a lot of times might actually take the other team's best corner. We're back on the clock. I'm just going to make sure I get my guy, and I'm going to draft Justin Herbert here. You probably could wait another round, but Justin Herbert's who I want. I've already talked about the Chargers offense a little bit, but getting the Herbert and McConkey pairing I also really like because, I mean, if he ever throws a touchdown to Ladd, double points there. And I think it's going to be a huge season. Like, I think Ladd's going to have a really big season, and I think Herbert's going to have a really big season. I mean, this team's pretty ridiculous. I love this team. But back to Sutton, like, I think Waddle will take away the wide receiver one at times, just like based on game planning, what I think will happen. And I think that will actually open up more opportunities for Cortland Sutton. I think he could have a really good or really high touchdown season. And again, I have him on the bench. So it's like I'm not needing him. He's kind of like if Ladd for whatever reason struggles or he gets hurt or Devontae gets hurt or Chase gets hurt, like it's a plug and play guy. And I know he'll be a guy that I know is going to be on my roster all year. Because here's something that I always say to people. I always say your starting lineup day one will not be the starting lineup in the playoffs, right? Something will change. When I look at this team right now, I'm like, I really don't know what possibly will change besides maybe Ladd if he's a little bit disappointing. But it always happens every year. I'm telling you, every year I've looked at this and it always changes. You look at every single team. Your starting lineup day one will not be your starting lineup in the playoffs. It just won't happen. It will not happen. Something will change. And so to have these extra depth pieces is just really important, and it's something that I think is a little bit underrated, and people care more about getting. I need to get Jalen Hurts in the 6th round instead of waiting and getting a Patrick Mahomes or Justin Herbert or Dak Prescott or a Matthew Stafford or a Caleb Williams or even a Brock Purdy or Jared Goff. Jared Goff is so good in fantasy, and where does he go? Did he already get drafted? I don't even see Jared Goff. Well, let's lock in on this pick real quick. So here's where the tight end, I could definitely target the tight end. And I love Tucker Kraft, personally. I think Tucker Kraft is amazing in that Green Bay offense. He was so good before the injury. Everything you hear seems like he's recovering very well. And why not take the stab on a Tucker Kraft when he was so good before the injury? And I would love that starting lineup. Let me check Goff. He's ranked at 137, and he's like, you could punt the position the entire draft and take up Jared Goff at 137. Jared Goff is actually really good fantasy quarterback. I don't like Jared Goff personally. I'm a Rams fan, so I'm not a huge Jared Goff guy personally. But in fantasy, I mean, he's very, very, very good. We're back on the clock again. This is a tough one. I like Josh Downs personally. I kind of like Rico Dowdle, but probably Aaron Jones if I was going to pick. He's a starting running back on a team that I think will be improved, and offense I think will be improved, so it's hard to not take like Aaron Jones here. Obviously, like I don't really ever want Aaron Jones starting, but it's a depth piece for sure, again, which I think is important. But like if you wanted a Rico Dowdle there, I think Rico Dowdle could be cool. The only thing is, like, I don't know if he's starting between Jaylen Warren and Rico Dowdle. Like, Rico Dowdle has just impressed me last year. That's why I say that. But Josh Downs, someone I really like with no Pittman. I think he'll get more opportunity. I like him as a player. Daniel Jones coming back could help him. Like, Josh Downs is someone I really like. Blake Corum is someone that will probably go higher in actual drafts. Like, I really like him. I think he could be very good. Now that I'm like, I'll probably honestly take, like, I like Josh Downs, but it's like, how would I not go with Blake Corum? It'd be really hard for me to not go Blake Corum here, honestly. I think he could be a 1,000-yard rusher. That might sound crazy, but I really do think it's possible. If any Kyren Williams injury happens, like, And even without a Kyron Williams injury, they just split. Like, Kyron has a drive, Blake has a drive. Kyron has a drive, Blake has a drive. Like, he could still be like a 700-800 yard rusher even without that and score a decent amount of touchdowns. And if Kyron injury happens, he could be a 1,000-yard rusher, and I'm getting him this low. At this point, oh yeah, I would easily go with Quinn Johnston. Again, more Chargers offense stuff, but if Ladd for whatever reason is a little bit disappointing, in my head that means, okay, well, that means Quentin Johnston is performing. So I'm going to go with that. I think, again, I'm investing into the Chargers offense a lot. I really believe in it. I'm investing a lot into it. I like Hampton. I like Herbert. I like Glad McConkey. I like Quentin Johnston. I would invest into the Chargers offense, and I would encourage other people in fantasy football to invest into the Chargers offense. I think it will be a smart move, and I think it will pay off. At least get something. At least get just a piece. Whether it's Ladd, whether it's Herbert, whether it's Quinn Johnson, whether it's Omarion Hampton. Just get one of those guys. Just roster one of them, and I don't think it'll disappoint you. Quentin could potentially disappoint you if Ladd has a big season, but it's 100% worth the stab. There's going to be one more selection I can take, and I'm looking for Jonathan Brooks. Did he already go? Oh, he already went. Frick, I like Jonathan Brooks. I mean, that's like a good ranking for him. Okay, so here, I'm not loving these options if I'm being real. If I had to go with something, I would probably go with Tyrone Tracy and just I mean, he probably won't stay on my team if I'm being honest, but if whatever reason Scat struggles coming back from that injury, maybe I would invest a little bit in Tyrone Tracy and take the stab into that. If Cam Scatterbo just for whatever reason struggles to come back from that, I don't think he will. I don't like Tyrone Tracy's a guy where I'd be like, okay, yeah, he's probably not staying on my team long term. Like I talked about last time with defense, just look up who's playing the Dolphins or the Jets and pick them. Kicker, just take someone accurate and you'll be good. But yeah, that's going to do it. This is my favorite pick in fantasy football, the 4th overall pick. You can't go wrong with the 4th overall pick. Oh, wow, this is not really centered at all. Well, sorry about that if people care. But, yeah, we out. Deuces.